it's a pretty big hole. So it's a major boat fail and not the way I wanted to start off this adventure. But I knew there would come a time when we'd face adversity, and I just didn't think it would be the very first thing.
Leaving the family behind for a few weeks, I drove 1,500 miles in a pickup truck filled with all of our earthly possessions. When I finally arrived on the docks of Garrison Bight Marina in Key West, it seemed like it was going to be a great day. But as I was about to find out, things aren't always as they seem.
So I'm here at this marina and I'm waiting for a guy I've never met to pick me up. And all I have is a phone number and a name. So don't know what he looks like, don't know what his boat looks like, and slightly anxious about all this. So going out to the boat for the first time, and then the anxiety will really ramp up, I'm sure. But we'll see. First step, and I guess I'll let you know when we get to the boat how it goes.
Eventually, I was picked up by two guys in a fishing boat who took me to the mooring field where our boat had been sitting empty for nearly a month. With no boating experience, I was more than a little nervous taking ownership a mile or so out to sea. But I tried to stay focused as I had a truck full of stuff that needed to be moved onto the boat before Rhonda flew down for sailing lessons the following week. All I had to do was get to the boat, lower the dinghy, and get back to the dock so I could begin the big move. It sounded easy. What could go wrong?
Well, after less than 1 hour of actually taking possession of the boat, I did this. That is our dinghy. On my first trip into the dinghy dock, I scraped up against something sharp and ripped a hole right in our dinghy, which left me stranded on the dock with my stuff on the boat out on a mooring ball. So that was last night. Back at it this morning. Have a couple of ideas on how to get this worked out. I'm just waiting to hear back, but this is how bad the damage is right here. It's a pretty big hole. Not gonna be able to get the dinghy fixed till tomorrow. So I didn't find that out till like 1. So I had to make some quick decisions here. Wind gusts are supposed to be like 40 knots tomorrow and on Sunday. And so I have a very small window to accomplish what I need to accomplish. And in a dinghy moving this, yeah, that wasn't going to happen in a dinghy in 40 knot winds and 80% chance of thunderstorms. So I made a decision to rent a boat, and I'm gonna go out there. Hopefully I can tie off, and hopefully I don't sink this one.
So with the dinghy debacle still fresh on my mind, I set off with a bit of trepidation. Now, I was not only driving someone else's boat, but also had everything we owned on board as well. The margin of error on this trip was 0, and with the approaching storm, which would eventually hit with such force that it ripped 5 boats from their moorings, I felt like I was in a race against time.
Well, somehow I did it.
I don't know. I honestly don't know how, but I did it. So now I have to get all this junk into here and hopefully have all the right keys. Oh my gosh. Okay, success. I had the keys. The door is open. I have exactly 1 hour to unload the boat and get it back. So this is day 3 of the big screw up, which should have taken about 6 to 8 hours to move onto the boat. We're into day 3 because of the dinghy situation. We're just calling it the big screw up. But these guys just arrived. Ken and April just arrived with a replacement dinghy. And we're gonna exchange everything out. Hopefully we can get the engine off. That's my big fear, so we'll see. Well, the saga continues. I am now going to get bolt cutters. The engine has a wire strung around it so no one would steal it. I get it and it's locked, and the owner, previous owner, does not have a key. Lost the key and probably never thought that he would need to take the engine off because some idiot poked a hole in the dinghy. So I am off to get bolt cutters. We'll go back and then see what happens from there. I'm not getting ahead of myself at this point.
So with bolt cutters in hand, I made my way back to the dinghy dock. After all that had happened up to this point, I was looking for a victory, no matter how small. And if that meant feeling good about cutting a lock in two, then so be it. So we began clearing the space beneath the lock for good access. We cleared the battery cables and davits rope and then went to work. In a matter of a few minutes, the lock was off and the outboard was free to secure to the new dinghy. It had been a mentally and physically exhausting 3 days. With Rhonda arriving soon and sailing lessons beginning in just a few days, there would be no time to rest. Next time on Sailing Starlike, we bring the family aboard, go sightseeing in Key West, and prepare for yet another storm.